All right, what is up, Speaker Sports? I'm Sparsh and this is Dorjee, and today we're going to be continuing our podcast talking about the Ben Simmons situation in Philadelphia. Now, what we had this sort of week at least at the beginning of the week, Simmons was showing up to practice and he had a pretty bad altercation with Doc Rivers. Doc Rivers asked him to get on a defensive drill, and Simmons said no. Doc said get on the defensive drill, and Simmons refused. And then Doc was just like, all right, you can leave now. He puts the ball down and he leaves practice. And after that, he gets suspended for one game. And we saw the video footage of him at practice in sweats. And, sweats is not a big problem, but he also had the phone in his pocket. This guy was already checked out, right? And then after that, he comes back and he speaks to Doc Rivers. And this apparently happened on Friday. And he speaks to Doc Rivers on the end of the team. He apparently apologized to them. And then he said, everybody sort of needs to take responsibility. And now what's been happening is that Ben Simmons, he said that he is not, quote unquote, mentally prepared for this. And he's also having some back soreness or tightness, whatever he's having some back problems. So he wasn't at the Sixers and Nets game that happened last night. And of course, the Nets won. Thanks to KD's triple-double and Harden's really nice playmaking. Anyways, what are your thoughts about this whole sort of fiasco that's going around to say?
Since this is a PG-13 channel, I won't be saying this word, but I like to say that Ben Simmons is probably one of the biggest cowards in all sports. Just like his attitude's really bad. Even though like if he doesn't clearly want to be there anymore, he should still be respectful of because obviously like the team doesn't want to trade you, but you want to leave, but they're still like making you, come to practice and stuff. So he should be obligated to come, but he just doesn't care at all. I feel like he wants to be more of a celebrity than an NBA player, if anything. And and just honestly, I just feel really bad for the Sixers in general. Like the players, they had to deal with all that drama. I feel like the locker room is like really dysfunctional right now. Like with like all that drama around Simmons. Honestly, my respect for Embiid went up a lot because even though like obviously in an interview he mentioned like bashing Simmons, but before the game against the Nets, like he had like a little pregame speech to the Philly fans talking about like Ben Simmons is still our brother and stuff. So he still respects Simmons, and I really respect that from Embiid. But still, like how can you support a guy who just doesn't want to be there and like doesn't want to do it respectfully? And like the Sixers, I remember in the offseason, like they flew to Cali to come see him, and like he didn't even let them in their house. So it just really just some poor attitude from Simmons. And if he's not mentally okay, then like I get that. But I mean before that, like in general, his attitude's been horrible. So
going on to what you were saying about Joel Embiid, when he was at the press conference before the season sort of started, he was saying, I don't really care what this guy does. And, we're not supposed to babysit him. And of course, I think that was, Embiid finally being, honest about the situation. But then again, when you see him at the pregame against the Nets, where he's talking about, Ben Simmons is our brother, we still got to respect him. I still think there's honesty in that as well. Because you can also like see somebody as like family, but also like really hate them at the same time as well. And, that was a pretty good moment from Embiid. And we all know how Philly fans are, right? They're probably one of the most passionate fans in the NBA. And they are not afraid to let their players know if they are playing trash. I mean, Embiid got that same treatment a while back. He got that same treatment a few years back when they were always chanting, trade Embiid like during the games, right? Booing him off the court. And yet this guy still worked on his game. This guy still, he embraced that. He put that into his work, and now he's embraced by the city, right? I mean, we also saw Kelsey, one of the players from the Eagles, say that, hey man, just play better. The city will love you, right? And there's a reason why we're saying a lot of this, because there was a scouting report that came out, for everybody to see in response to all of this. And this is from a few years back, March 2016. So this is around 5 years back, over 5 years back. And this is written by Jonathan Givney. And what he said was in his synopsis, and I'm going to read this quote for quote: Simmons' lack of competitiveness in crucial games has raised questions about his character. Those who know him best say he needs things to revolve around him on and off the court, and that he's often been close-minded to coaching or instruction. That's
a very accurate. That's probably one of the most accurate draft reports I've ever seen.
Yeah. What's crazy to realize is that he's still the same exact person that he was in March 2016. I mean, you'd expect players to sort of change their sort of mindset as they go into like the big leagues, of course, right? You go to college, right? Things are tough, of course, but then when you go to the NBA, it's a whole different thing, right? You got to develop a lot more consistent routine. You've got to be a lot more committed to your work. And what we've seen from this report and what we've seen recently is that, yeah, he's not changing, man. You can only like do so much to convince someone, but you can't really force them to, change themselves. That's up to them. And that's what we're seeing from him, right? He still hasn't changed. And, especially from his rookie year, that rookie year was his best year, to be honest. And after that, he's either plateaued or gotten worse. And this whole thing, him expecting to be out of Philly, it's not going in his favor because Daryl Morey came out just yesterday and he was saying that this is going to be this will take even 4 years if possible. What are your thoughts about this whole thing?
That was a very dumb statement by Daryl Morey because he's basically just tanking his value now. So it's going to be even harder to trade Simmons because the teams that want him is going to have all the leverage. So I don't know why he would say that, but I think there's a report from Woj who said who counteracted his statement and said it might take at least 1 year realistically. So maybe he might get traded next season. But I don't know, man. Honestly, the situation is very, very it's very toxic. That's the best word to put it. It's a very toxic situation right now in Philly.
Yeah. I really don't know what he was trying to say with that 4-year statement either. I don't know if he's trying to make it a battle of him and Ben Simmons, but what he said right now, I don't know. That doesn't really make the situation any better. And I mean, we'll see from here how many more games he's just going to keep on sitting out. We'll see how long that back's been hurting him for, right?
Honestly, the big problem is the Sixers don't want to trade him, but Simmons wants to leave. That's the main problem, right? So that's probably why Daryl Morey said that, because I think deep down he doesn't want to trade him, but the media is kind of pressuring him to trade him quick. But I don't know, man. The Sixers and Daryl Morey just putting their foot down, saying no. Just you gotta give us the amount of the packages that they received and rejected was stupid. They just want a superstar in return for Ben Simmons, who's, no offense, he's at best he's an all-star at best.
Yeah, you're not going to get that equal value, especially for Ben Simmons.
Yeah.
Anyways, we're going to be keeping an eye out for that. If you guys have gotten this far to the video, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and make sure to press the bell for push notifications if you haven't already. That way you're always up to date with our channel, and it also makes us more eager to be posting stuff for you guys as well. We're going to be posting a lot of content as NBA season is going underway. So please make sure to subscribe and follow our channel. Anyways, this is Sparsh.
Yeah, Ben Dorjee. Thank you for watching.
Take it easy, guys.